Good Monday morning, June 10th, 2024. Starting a new decade in my series of videos. Best picture for an individual year. New decade 1940. Who won it? Who was the best pitcher in the year 1940? I determine it by looking at pitching categories, 9 of them. See who won the most categories. What are the categories? Most wins, most innings, most strikeouts, most shutouts. Most games started, most complete games, lowest earned run average, winning percentage, best winning percentage, and most saves. 1940, who was the best pitcher? Bob Feller, Hall of Fame. He won 5 out of the 9 categories. Pitch. Most wins, 27. Most innings, 320. Most strikeouts, 261. Most games started, 37. And most complete games. He did not come out of the game, 31 of them. Bob Feller, Hall of Fame. Let's look at his career. If you go to Baseball Reference, type in his name, Bob Feller. You'll see that his career lists all his accomplishments. It has his biography. Started his career in 1936, 17 years old. And what does he do? He wins 5 games. Following year, in 1937, he wins 9 games. So, off to a little slow start. 1938, very good year, 17 wins. 1939, 24 wins. But in 1940, his best year, 27 and 11, 2.61 ERA, 320 innings. Like I said, 37 starts, 31 complete games, and he gets 261 strikeouts. (1940), he's 21 years old. He goes 27 and 11 as a 21-year-old. Now, I've talked about other pitchers on this series of videos. A lot of them start their career at like 25. Some even wait till they're 30 to get going. This guy jumps in at 17 years old. And he pitches until he's 37. Wins 266 games, 162 losses, 62, 621 winning percentage. But did you know that Bob Feller, in 1942, he's 23 years old? Right in his prime, right? He goes into the military service and serves for 3 years, 1942, 43, and 44, the war years. Just think, if he hadn't pitched those 3 years, maybe 3.5 years, came back 1945. About 3.5 years, almost 4 years in the military. Just think. If he hadn't gone there and he was pitching, well, before that, let's see, 1939, he wins 24 games. 1940, 27. 1941, he wins 25. So he's a 20-win game pitcher. 20 wins. If we take those 3 years and add 20 more wins per year, maybe 3.5 years, because in 1945 says that when he came back, he won 5 games. Let's say for that year he wins 20. So I've got 4 years at 20 games. That's 80 wins. Add the 80 to the 266. What does that come out to be? 266 plus 80 additional wins. Maybe more. That's 346 victories. But let's say he wins 25, because he was on a pace. He had 24 wins in 1939, then 27 and 25. So let's say it's 25 wins for about 4 years. That's 100 wins. He would have been up to 366 career victories. That's the potential for Bob Feller. Maybe I'll put him in my top 10 somewhere. 3,827 career innings. Let's say he has 200 or 250 innings. That's another 1,000. He would have been up to about 5,500, 5,500 innings. Listen to this. He had 2,500 strikeouts. Let's say those 4 years he strikes out 200 each year. That's 800. He would have been up to about 3,400 career strikeouts. What potential, Bob Feller. But he served those 3.5 to 4 years in the military in his prime. Did you know he was 23, 24, 25, and 26 during those years? Just think if he was pitching. Woo! I got to put Bob Feller in my top 10 greatest pitchers of all time. I don't know what number though. We're going to go through all these pitchers, and then I'll list my top 10 solid. Right now I have 2 that are solid. Walter Johnson, number 1, because I've already covered him. And Christy Mathewson is number 2. I already covered him. I looked at both of their careers. No one else is going to beat them for the first 2 spots. Number 3 through 10 is debatable. Looking at Pete Alexander, maybe number 3. He has 373 wins. But I'm not sure if there's someone who can edge him out. Number 4 and 5 and 6. Got a lot of good candidates. Let's finish all these videos. I gotta keep going until the year 2023. When I'm done with all that, I'll list my top 10 greatest pitchers of all time. Bob Feller has to be in there. 266 wins. Did you know that Bob Feller had 6 20-win seasons, and he had 1 19-win season, so that could have been 7. And he had a 17-win season, that could have been 8, and then if he had pitched those 4 years and won 20 games, he could have been up to about 12, maybe 13 20-win seasons. Strikeouts, too. He has 4 200 strikeout seasons, and he has 1 300 strikeout season. We'll get to that one, because I believe he wins another year coming up. Then he had 196 one year, so that's about 5 200 strikeout seasons, and 1 300 strikeout season. He was tough. Bob Feller. 1940 is in the book. Bob Feller is the best pitcher for that year. Next video. 1941. Talk to you later. I'm out.